Magic the Gathering cards have various rarities.
From the ordinary common to the mythic rare. And Pauper is a format where you can play with only commons.
The decks are cheap, but they can be incredibly powerful.
We had our viewers vote on the decks to represent every year of the Pauper format and had a field of the strongest Pauper content creators pilot them in a 5-round tournament.
And we finally have it. We have a top 8 of what could possibly be the best Pauper decks of all time.
And we are bringing you all of the elimination rounds, and after 7 videos, we'll be ready to finally crown the best Pauper deck ever. Let's go.
Well, I was scared.
Go, go, go! I've waited way too long!
All right, I'm on the play now because the player who skillfully piloted my deck came 3rd in the Swiss. Thank you, Walker72. Actually, I personally know him, so yeah. The deck I'm playing is Jeskai Glitters. It's the current Pauper format. It's the current best deck in Pauper, in fact. I'm excited to be representing the present in this competition. My starting hand is solid. I have a removal spell for Thoralf Familiars. I have some card draw with Podcast and Reckless Impulse. I keep.
Welcome to the best deck ever series Pauper edition, and we start off with a banger because I'm playing Flicker Storm, which was piloted in the Swiss by Kalikas himself, the master for that deck, and he placed in top 8 so we can represent it. The deck is quite complicated because you have to interact with so many different pieces that are moving in the game. You have to play the creatures that reduce your blue spells by 1 mana, also called Familiars, with cards that return creatures from the battlefield to your hand, like Snap or Temporal Fissure, and then also use all the card draw to draw into multiple of that pieces that keep you going until you have an overwhelming board state. Now, our starting hand promises exactly that. We have a Nightscape Familiar, which makes the blue spells cheaper. We have a Snap and a Muldrifter to keep the game going, but unfortunately, we only have 2 lands that don't make black, so this is a very close decision, but we probably have to take a mulligan. Still isn't really exciting, but we have a familiar that we can cast and a compulsive research so we can fuel our mana, and hopefully if we draw some bounce lands and some action, this turns into a beautiful hand. But for now, this is definitely good enough. We're gonna ditch this one. And then wait, this is the first land of the first of 8. Jeez, a little bit of hype. Give me an O!
Okay, Toffel, let's begin. I have a Razotide Bridge. It's a tapped blue and white artifact land. You can go.
I'll draw, play an item, and pass it in.
I'll tap and draw. All right, let's start with a Ginger Brute. And then, bing, 1 damage to you.
Ow.
And then I'll play, wait, where are you going? Judge? Opponent tried to draw an extra card during my second main phase, unacceptable. I play a Great Furnace, and then I'll play a 1 mana, 2/2, very powerful. It used to be a rare, Izamaru, Hound of Konda. Now it's a common.
Draw, play Pines, and a Sunscape Familiar. Now,
Nice.
all my green, but also blue spells, because 1 less.
And that's a 0/3, right?
0/3, it blocks. Do you play Giant Growth?
No, but I play Galvanic Blast. So I'm gonna just blast your 0/3 over there. It deals 2 damage, but if I have 3 artifacts or more, I deal 4. I'll play Thoughtcast, another very powerful affinity mechanic over here. Draw 2. Okay, then I'll play another tap land and
Tap. We do have the bounce land, but unfortunately, if we play the bounce land, that means we cannot cast Compulsive Research, and if we cast Compulsive Research, we cannot play the bounce land, so we have to decide for one of those lines. Either one of those lines doesn't let me have a Snap back up, so that is really unfortunate in case we want to protect against all their glitters, but that is what we have to deal with for now. The question is, what is better? And I think, considering that we don't have a black mana and next turn we can go Familiar into Compulsive Research, it makes the bounce land more attractive and also sets up our future turns much better, where we untap lands to gain the mana. I will play a tap and return an island and pass the turn.
Okay, not impressive, but honestly your deck is capable of doing very impressive things, so I'm not gonna be...
Don't worry about it.
I'll start the turn with an Experimental Synthesizer,
Oh, what
revealing
a surprise.
the top of the deck, and I can cast it this turn.
Yay, a Wild Nakato.
Kind of unfortunate. I could play the Ardent Recruiter that is exiled, or I can play all the glitters from hand. If I play glitters from hand, I'm wasting a card. And it's important to realize what matchups you are on. If you're playing against a control deck, a mid-range deck, then you have to go for card advantage, playing the Recruiter. But I'm playing against a combo deck. I need to shrink the window. I need to deal as much damage as possible, especially since Thoralf has Snap in his deck. So if I can use my All That Glitters in hand to deal 8 damage, I have to take that window. I will just ignore the Ardent Recruiter. I'm sorry. You are... Next game, I'll think about you. But for now, I'll go All That Glitters on my Gingerbrute. This is a very, very good card. And it gives +1/+1 for each artifacts and enchantment in my board.
Literally all of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's... So this is gonna be 11 damage coming across from you.
If you have a blast.
One more, but that's okay.
Wait, you're already telling me you have a blast? That's kind of rude.
You can go.
What? I'll draw. I will tap 3, which gives me white, blue, and black.
Esper.
For black and white, I'll play Nightscape Familiar, which is basically like the other Familiar,
But?
only for red and blue.
So you have 1 blue floating.
Right, for that 1 blue, I will cast a Snap, targeting the Gingerbrute.
The Gingerbrute goes back to my hand, and this one dies.
I will untap 2 lands.
Yeah.
I will tap the Aqueduct again for a 3 mana, which casts a Research,
Yes.
which costs 3, but 2 because of the Familiar.
Resolves.
I will draw 3. 1, 2, 3. And then this card, 2 cards or land, which in this case is a Terramorphic Expanse. For my land drop and a blue, I will cast a Seagate's Oracle. So I look at the top 2 and pick 1. Let's pick this one and put this one at the bottom.
Untap and draw.
So if you have a Galvanic Blast, I'm basically dead.
Don't worry about it. Play Gingerbrute.
Yeah.
Can't be blocked.
Yes.
Play All That Glitters.
Oh.
And attack you for lethal. Boom! I'm going to sideboard 8 interactive spells. 4 Dispel and 4 Pyroblast. Of course, when you bring in these interaction spells, you must side out the card draw spell that are actually unconditional. So if I play Reckless Impulse or if I play Experimental Synthesizer and flip one of those cyber cards, it's very awkward, very bad.
Unfortunately, our sideboarding is pretty bad. The only cards we could really consider are the Hydroblast. We really don't care for Synthesizer or Galvanic Blast. It's nice, but it's not that we want it. But certainly Andrea will bring Pyroblast and we want a reactionary answer against that as well. So some Hydroblasts will be fine. We have sideboarded. I'm not very satisfied with what it's become, but this hand is awkward. It's kind of broken besides all of the 3 Evolving Wilds, which are obviously terrible. Now, if we draw an untapped land for our next turn, the hand is broken, no questions asked. If we draw an untapped land on turn 3, the hand is still very good. So I will keep.
I've kept worse in my life.
I'll play Evolving Wilds, and I'll use it directly because we don't waste any time on this channel.
Do you know that they reprinted Evolving Wilds? Now you can play Escape Tunnel, which is just better.
I was unfortunately stuck with this as Evolving Wilds.
I'll play a 1-mana 1/1.
Hey!
And it's your turn. Also known as Wild Nakado, by the way.
I'll play an Evolving Wilds and pass the turn.
I didn't say what my 1-mana 1/1 does, but it's much better than that. You can get +2/+2, if only. I have 3 more or more artifacts, which unfortunately I don't. But it's okay, I have big plans for you, little guy.
You have nothing?
I'll pass the turn. I have a reactive hand.
Of what?
I'll watch out for your next spells. I'm gonna counter them all. You can go.
I've kept worse hands.
It's okay, it's gonna work out. Just trust.
Oh, crack. I'll get an island and draw. I'm almost at the perfect line of play. I will play an Evolving Wilds.
Wow.
And then I will cast a Sunscape Familiar.
Okay.
And it's your turn.
I'll untap.
Yes.
My very good starting hand.
Man, those are the best Pauper decks we can offer.
Wait a second, look at this. I have Metalcraft. 3 damage.
Okay.
Then, because I have Metalcraft, I can shoot down your 0/3 with my Galvanic Blast, which deals 4 damage. Because I had Metalcraft, because I'm gonna return an artifact land to my hand. And pass to you.
I will grab my Evolving Wilds. I'll get a Swamp.
You can go.
I'm now locked in on colors. I'll draw. I'll tap 3 for a Seagate Oracle.
Yes, finally a target for my Pyroblast. Zzz. Counter target blue spell.
It is unfortunately gone.
Whoa. Woo! I basically drew Mox Opal. Drawing the Springleaf Drum is very good because it unlocks the blue mana for my Thoughtcast. Should I attack or should I play the Thoughtcast? I'm gonna play the Thoughtcast because I just need to cast these cards from hand. Make sure that I draw more spell, get the deck going. So I'm gonna refuse to deal 2 damage this turn, but for the greater good of next turn. But you know, who needs 2 damage when you can get blue mana to draw 2 cards? Ha! Ha! Ooh! I can do it again. Play the Springlet Drum. Prefer to deal you 3 damage here. Then I'll play a Scissor Bluff Bridge and pass. My shields are down, as they say.
I'll draw. I'll make a black mana.
Dress?
No. I will return to my hand. Okay. For my Dime Aqueduct.
Yes.
I will cast Frantic Surge. I draw 2 and then untap up to 3 lands, which is kind of good because I have a land that makes 2 mana.
Pretty sure this card is banned in like every format at this point.
This Frantic Surge is really tough because besides the Boundless Land, I don't really know what to discard because our hand does kind of have everything, but nothing I want to lose. So I think we'll keep the combo with Snap, Cloud of Fairies, and Temporal Fissure in hand and discard a Frantic Surge, even though we might get a little bit hurt by having no value then. I will discard a Frantic Surge and the Swamp.
Okay.
Now I untap all of those, and then for 3 mana,
yes.
I will cast
Seagate Oracle?
Compulsive Research. 1,
what
2,
what do you find?
3. I will discard a Terramorphic Expanse.
Okay.
Go.
Wow, untapped. That's cool. I'll start with a Thought Cast. 1 mana, draw 2 cards. Hey, hey. Play a Ginger Brute. It's gonna be 6 damage for you. Pass with a Suspicious Great Furnace. It'll hide behind my top lands.
I'll tap a white. I will play an Azorius Chancery, which returns to white. Now that white will be in my mana pool for quite a long time. I'll play the Cloud of Fairies.
Nice.
So when that land is defeated, I untap 2 lands. Now my lands make 2 mana.
Woo!
So it effectively adds 2 mana.
Also banned, by the way.
I'll tap 4.
Yes.
So now I have 5 mana.
Yes.
I will use 2. So I snap my fairy. It's in my hand.
It's gone, so you have 3 mana pool left.
And I untap. I will tap those. So I have 7. I will cast the fairy again. And I untap.
Yes.
Most notably, I have played 1,
2 spells.
2, 3 spells. For the 5 mana, I will cast a Molded. I will draw 1, 2. I'll cast a Nightscape Familiar.
Okay.
That makes the blue spells 1 less. For 2 mana, I will cast a Frantic Surge. I will draw 2. 1, 2. 1 mana. I will play a Cloud of Fairies for 1 mana. So now I have 4, but I will untap all of those. So now, I only have 1 spell left in my hand. Fortunately, it's the only one I need.
Is it another banned spell?
It's Temporal Fissure.
Woo! Okay, so what does it do?
So that means I can return a permanent for every spell I've cast plus 1. So by my quick calculation, I have had 8 spells. So I will bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. Let's go again.
We'll cast for 4 mana a Cloud of Fairies.
3 floating.
We untap and with 3 falling. 1 more, I will cast a Molded. I'll draw 2. 1, 2. Casting for 1, I will cast a Snap on the Molded. I untap 2 lands and I return this. Keeping a blue, I will cast a Molded. Draw 2. 1, 2. We're empty. Life is sad. And I have 1 mana and nothing more to do, so it's your turn.
Woo, I have a turn. That's exciting. All right, let's go. I'll play an Ancient Den, Ardent Recruiter. I'll use my Springlip Drum to play a Glint Auk. Return this to my hand. Then I will play a Ginger Brute, and then I will float a mana and make it unblockable. Zik.
At the end of turn, I will tap 2 and cycle a Cloud of Fairies.
That's why I didn't play it. Smart.
I need something good. I'm not lying. My hand is kind of landy. I draw. I will cast a Sunscape Familiar.
Oh, that's not a land.
It's not a land. I will play a Chancery tapped.
Draw. Let's go. I'll tap 2. I'll play an All That Glitters on my Ginger Brute. I've done this play the game before. Does it resolve? Can be blocked. And then Zazam.
I don't block.
Yes! Woohoo!
Andrea Gucci.
Look at my end at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice, good job.
That's neat.